Yes, 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 yes. Come on, people, let's go. I tell you, it's all about this rounded game. I am telling you categorically, it's all about Istv. It's a Continental Sport TV. Come on, let's go. It's Monday, people. Yes, it's Monday. We are ready. Istv is ready. The crew is ready. Ole is joining me all the way from Nigeria. I tell you, Papa is also joining me all the way from United Kingdom. I tell you, it's gonna be loud tonight. Go on, people. The talking point for today. Let me quickly tell you the FA Cup review. No mess around today, please, people. You know I'm a Manchester United fan. Please take it easy on me. Oh, my Jet people, please. The club focus as well, Manchester United. We're going to give you some transfer G's and some quick debate. It's going to be loud tonight. Yes. All right, let me welcome this great gentleman. I think Kule should be ready by now. Should I forget about the FA Cup? Let's move on. Let me ask him whether he's already moving on. Kule, you are joining us. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, good evening, the Dawn. Disappointing. The FA Cup final was, it was disappointing. But I wouldn't be too disappointed because, it wasn't a game where United were in the game. It was a fairly balanced game. Of course, City had more of the chances and possession and all, but it wasn't a one-sided game where maybe where United had nothing. I mean, even in the second half, when City looked to up the tempo of the game, the United were very, very dangerous when they had the ball, and you could see there were a couple of times where they threatened City. So it's not really bad. I think Ten Hag has something that he can work with. Maybe just like we keep saying, a few new players coming in the summer, and maybe things will improve. But until then, not a bad season for United, considering where they finished the previous season. It's all right. It's very good end to the season for them.
All right. Kule, welcome. Let me welcome this great gentleman as well too. He's ready. Okay, you have to take it easy on Manchester United tonight, please. And please, okay, I'm going to ask you, Manchester United had a better season over Arsenal. Don't be wrong. Tell me, welcome you, okay, Adibari. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Loud and clear, the Dawn. And it is so funny that you say United had a better season than Arsenal, while a lot of people feel like Arsenal's second place position without a trophy was much better than Manchester United's season, despite the Carabao Cup trophy. But we'll get into that in details. It was a pleasure to be on Istv.
All right. I don't know who is deceiving you, but I don't mind those people hearing from loud and clear from this station. I'm talking about Istv. I tell you, Manchester United had a better season. Kule, can you tell him we had a better season? Kule, talk to me. We had a better season.
I know people wouldn't agree with me, but I still think Arsenal. I would still say Arsenal had a better season for me. I know, people would say we reached cup finals and all of that, but look, cup finals for me are lotteries, okay? And the yardstick I will always use to measure is the league, because the league is where, the league is not a sprint. You see, cup competitions are like sprints. Yes. You understand? But a league is a marathon, and that is where the mantle is tested. Yes, maybe Arsenal fell at the end of the day, but I always keep saying it. Arsenal were never in this position. It has been a long time, right? So for them to have been in this position where they lost out on the league with less than 10 games to go, they led for the majority of the season. I think it counts for something, because I mean, Arsenal that we knew before, there are some games where these people we know Arsenal would have lost those games. But that wasn't the case this season. And I really feel it goes to show that I think Mikel Arteta is doing something very different than maybe the previous manager, which is Unai Emery, didn't do. And maybe certain things that Arsene Wenger didn't do towards the concluding part of his time at Arsenal. So I would pick Arsenal because I would say I really enjoyed them. Not taking anything away from Manchester United, but for the context of the Premier League, I think I would pick Arsenal.
All right, let's move on. Kunle is taking this to somewhere I don't want to go. All right, let's move on. All right, guys, you're all welcome to the show. I have Okwe in the studio. I have Kunle as well into the studio. The season has ended, Okwe, and we are going to look at the best 11 EPL players. I'm talking about those players that really impressed in every different position. We're going to look at the goalkeeper. We're going to look at the left back. We're also going to look at the back. Let's say the back four, and also we're going to look at the midfields. It's going to be massive. Also the striker. We are going to look at that. And let's go straight into the point. But before we go, I have a quick debate. Let's go to it straight up. I'm going to start with you, Okwe Adebari. Can Inter Milan stop Man City? Can Inter Milan stop Man City? Okwe, what do you think? Talk to me. Okwe, you're welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much, Don. And this is a Champions League final. Yeah. Over the years, we've seen that there is no script to a Champions League final. We've seen Champions League finals go in totally different directions. Yeah. And what I saw from the first leg of the semi-final fixture between AC Milan and Inter Milan was a good understanding of the opponent and clear direction in terms of tactics. That's what I saw from Simone Inzaghi's side. And I love that about them. Immediately they scored the 2 early goals. They set up a fantastic low block that was so difficult for the Milan wingers to create chances for Olivier Giroud. They brought in Origi to try and switch things up. It was still the same. So in terms of a tactical setup to probably stop this great Manchester City side, I believe Inzaghi's team have the capabilities of doing that. They work together as a cohesive unit. So is it possible for them to stop Manchester City from getting the treble? Yes, it is possible. It is extremely realistic, most especially because of their style of football. That 5 at the back, it works perfectly for them. Yeah, they've got war horses in midfield. I'm talking about Marcelo Brozovic. I'm talking about Nicolo Barella, and hopefully, I don't know if we're going to have Mkhitaryan there, but even if Mkhitaryan is not there, they've got other fantastic players who are able to deputize in that position. So, especially Hakan Çalhanoğlu, who came from Milan 2 years ago. So, and up front, they've got sharpshooters. Lautaro Martinez is in the best form of his life. Yeah. Edin Dzeko at the age of 37 is still hitting it strong. And then you've got an informed Romelu Lukaku, who lots of fans are clamoring for him to start since he's now back in good form. 8 goals in 5 games. That's fantastic for Lukaku, good for his confidence. But I believe so much in Inzaghi and his tactics. I believe that whatever team he decides to set up for the final, he believes that they are able to stop Manchester City from winning the game and then claiming a Champions League trophy for the first time since 2010.
All right. Also, over to you, Kunle. Do you think Manchester City could be stopped in Champions League coming on? Can Inter actually stop Man City from winning the treble? From your own point of view,
yes, they can, but they are going to. Yes, they can, but Inter Milan are going to have to put in a very, very disciplined performance from kickoff. You are not going to, because as we all know, Manchester City are going to have more possession. They will have more of the chances. So Inter Milan have a very, very tough job of trying to limit them, trying to frustrate them, trying to, for instance, block the channels in which some of their creative players will find their way, and it's going to be difficult because apart from Kevin De Bruyne, you're going to have to stop someone like Bernardo Silva, Jack Grealish, or even stop Anilke Gundogan, because, Gundogan, you saw him, he scored a brace at the weekend. He could even have scored a hat-trick, but he had a goal ruled out for outside. So apart from Erling Haaland or creator in chief, which is Kevin De Bruyne, City have other players that they can rely on. Inter Milan have to try and stop all these players. They need to frustrate them. So if they don't do that, I mean, City are going to definitely be smiling at the treble. So it's going to be a tough job for Inter Milan. It can be done, but it's going to be really a difficult task.
All right. Also, welcoming Margaret onto this show. Margaret, what's going on? How you doing? I want you to talk about the FA Cup. I know you're a Manchester United fan. It is what it is. And also, I'm also a Manchester United fan. And I want to start from you. Where did we got it wrong? Is it the 13 seconds that destroy everything from your own point of view? Is it how did the game? The guys just went flat, as in they just couldn't contain Man City at some point. What's your own perspective on this game? Unmute your mic. I think. All right.
Okay. Yeah, he's on. Hey, hi guys. Good evening.
Yes.
So good to be here once again. Well, about the FA Cup, I think it was actually a result we all expected. Yeah, let's just say 99% of us actually believe that Man City will definitely carry the day, and which they did. Although they were not that spectacular the way I actually thought, because I was expecting United to lose by at least by over maybe 3 goals, but I think they actually tried by giving City that tough time. And as per the early goals, I know United have had one challenge. One of the problems United have had under Eric Ten Hag or of recent times has been the early goal. The early goal has been like a killjoy. We saw that against Liverpool, against which club? Whenever they score United on time, United actually find it very difficult to go back into the game. And then here we talk about the City, who Pep already has as in every squad, in every position, you can get 2 to 3 players in all those positions. He has good bench, good starting 11, good second 11, compared to United, who you cannot really say, oh, when this one is out, who are you bringing in? It was actually a result we actually expected. So it wasn't all good. I just hopefully by next season we'll be able to get United will be able to get 2 or 3 more quality players that can actually handle that midfield, and then a striker by next season.
All right. Let me welcome Robbie onto this show. Robbie, the game of FA Cup went 2-1. If you want to look at it, Robbie, stop it. Oh, I'm not. It's a serious case.
Okay. I'm stopping.
All right.
You know that Robbie, honestly, if not that I actually know him, I would say he's a United fan, because you know what is coming out. He's not going to say anything good about United.
Let me talk now.
All right.
Let me talk.
All right.
Good evening. Good evening to you, Dodon. Good evening to the guys in the house. It's good to be on the show once again. And you know what? Let me just say it as it is. It is so sad you guys have to hear it, but let me say it as it is. I sent out a tweet on Saturday, and I will tell you exactly what I said. That in the next 3 years, United will not beat this Manchester City team. It is in front of United.
I can't hear him for now. Robbie, can you hear me?
I think he actually said something he's not supposed to say. Saying that in the next 3 years, man, you won't be City. Abba, how can you? No. So
I tell you. All right, let him jump in and jump out. I lost him there. I want to actually ask from his opinion. But let me ask Okwe, you watched the match.
Yes, I did. In fact, I have a very interesting story to tell you about this FA Cup final.
Oh yeah, tell us.
Right. Sorry, can you hear me?
Okay, Robbie, go.
Oh, Robbie, go ahead. I lost you there.
Okay, so please let me just quickly wrap up my point. Like I said, Manchester United will not beat Man City in the next 3 years. It is one reality that is staring in front of the team. City did not play their first choice goalkeeper. They did not even play the second choice goalkeeper in that match. Alvarez did not play that game. Mahrez did not play that game. Yes, he fielded more or less his trusted midfield. Okay, what else? Erling Haaland was not even a threat all throughout that game at all. So it was more or less City played that game with 10 men against an 11-man Manchester United team. And we all saw what United brought to the table. They did not even approach the match as if it was an FA Cup final. And somebody said so on social media, like, does United even understand the gravity of that match? Do they even understand the importance of that match? There was no fight. There was no bite. There was nothing positive going forward for United. The only positive thing that came out of that game was the fact that Aaron Wan-Bissaka nodded the ball and Grealish handled the ball in the 18-yard box. After that, let us be truthful to ourselves. After that moment, what else did United bring to that game? Absolutely nothing, if we are being truthful with ourselves. So hence why I said, in the next 3 years, Manchester United will not beat this City team. And I can give you an information I got today.
About that? Should we bet about that?
Let me talk now.
No,
We'll bet. Don't worry. We'll bet aside. Let me talk first. We'll bet. Leave that one, Margaret. Wait now. Let me finish. Now, there's a piece of information I got, and which is that should Manchester City win the treble, that is this weekend, Manchester City will open new negotiations with Erling Haaland to extend his contract. Yeah. So that is another trouble looming that is on the horizon for everybody.
It's meant to be. It's not like it's something that we're not expecting.
Okay, no problem. So it was unfortunate, like Margaret said. Yes, everybody believed that City were going to carry the day, but I will tell you the truth. United can huff and puff for all we care next season, but the truth is, United will not level up with Manchester City, not today, not tomorrow, and certainly not next year. Not even with the Arsenal, not even with this current Arsenal team. So United will need not just 2 players to rebuild the team. They will need a lot of players to build the team. Currently, there's an issue as touching who is going to be the next owner. And the Glazer families have more or less put a noose on the neck of the club because they do not want that club to go anywhere. That is one issue United have to sort out within this time frame of the transfer window, alongside the kind of players they want to sign. So that is just my own 2 cents as regards what happened over the weekend.
All right. Okay, you want to tell us something? You want to share something with us, and I'm waiting.
Yeah, so basically, I was, like I told you, Don, on Friday. The reason why I wasn't able to meet the show was because I was on my way to Manchester, right? So I was in Manchester throughout the weekend, and from Friday, you could feel the energy in the streets. You had Man City fans walking on the street and United fans. You have people wearing blue, people wearing red. Very early in the morning, people were catching their trains and rather catching buses. There was a real strike throughout England on Saturday. So people were catching buses so early in the morning to get to London to go and watch the game. But come evening time in Manchester, it was pin drop silence. That's to let you know the magnitude of fans, of more United fans, and how they were looking forward to this FA Cup final, and they were hoping that United could do something different and give a win. And then the truth is that the difference between Manchester City and Man United had to be just quality. Quality was majorly the difference. United were missing certain key players in certain positions, and it affected them, most especially not having good backups on the bench. Also affected. That's another it's the same thing. It's the same thing for Arsenal. That's another reason why I believe also Arsenal missed out on the league. If you want to compete with the big boys, you need to have a fantastic squad with quality in depth. Liverpool suffered with injuries and team form as well. So if anyone wants to stop Manchester City in a game, you do need quality players coming off the bench, even when the players on the pitch are probably tired or they're not able to get the job done. Yes. But United need to invest in the right ways. I believe there's too much going on in the background for United, and that distracts what happens on the pitch. I am hoping that in the next couple of weeks, the ownership of Manchester United is sorted out, and they have a clear transfer strategy and they start signing players. In the next couple of days, Brighton is going to unveil both James Milner and Mo Dahoud from Dortmund and Joao Pedro as well from Watford. Liverpool is signing Alexis McAllister from Brighton. So teams are moving fast. United need to get on that same wavelength and secure a future for them in terms of fighting for league titles and cups in England.
All right. Ope, thank you for that insightful story right there, because it got to a point whereby Manchester City in that game, when they made their first changes, I think it was Foden that came on for, what's the name of this guy? Kunle, do you still remember? Foden
came on for Jack Grealish.
And look at the way, look at the next player that came on, Weghorst, for man.
That's quality for you.
You can just imagine. You can just imagine the quality and imagine Weghorst coming on that game. I knew we are going to lose this match. There's nothing this guy is going to bring to the table, and the quality right there. I don't think no team in EPL right now that can surpass Manchester City. Look at that quality. Look at the bench. And look at our bench. Kunle, talk to me. This is club focus for Manchester United right now. Is there any players? Are there any players? Man, you should be. Look at this. Who comes in and who goes out? From your own point of view, who goes in? Who comes in and who goes out? Quality, it's crazy.
Well, for who goes out, clearly those who were brought in on loan as stopgaps, they will need to go. So that's going to be Wout Weghorst, Sabitzer, and there was a third person we loaned. I can't remember who the third person was. But sorry.
He's a goalkeeper from Crystal Palace.
Yeah, goalkeeper.
Oh, Jack Butland. Okay.
And he has not made any appearances.
Yeah, so obviously all of them need to go because, like I said, they were just stopgap options. From those who are presently in this squad, if I am to say my own, David De Gea needs to go. And this is not anything about he needs to, okay? For me, David De Gea has already stayed. This is not even about because he makes errors or something. We need a new goalkeeper. He has already spent how many years? He's in his 30s. There is no improvement you are going to get from him, okay? There is no improvement. He wasn't a late bloomer. He was already a prospect from a very young age. And, it's very difficult for you to see goalkeepers like that, okay? For me, it will even be better if we get a middle-aged goalkeeper rather than, say, a young... Yeah, if you get the middle-aged goalkeeper that is very good, a keeper in his maybe 25, 26 that can play for the next maybe 5-6 seasons into his 30s. I think that is better, Then in the midfield, yeah, there's going to be need. There's going to be now. The problem is those who go out. This is where the problem really is because you need to ask yourself first who is interested. Okay, so it's very easy now to say, okay, maybe someone like Fred, despite what he has contributed to the team. Yeah, because he has, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, he has contributed a lot for the team this season. You understand? But the question now is, okay, if Fred leaves, where is he going to? If Scott McTominay, who is interested in him? Okay, fine. They've said maybe Newcastle, but how genuine is it? I feel that thing is just really. I don't really see the authenticity in that report. I feel it's just rumors. So the thing is, because you look at it down the years, who has Manchester United sold and how much have they made of them? You understand? There has been a problem having to sell Phil Jones. That is why he has been at the club for so long, because number one, nobody wants to buy an injury. Yeah, you understand. So that is where United really have a problem. And the thing is, if we don't offload players, I feel getting players will be very difficult, especially as the ownership of the club hasn't yet been decided. Let's not forget that it's still up in the air. And we don't know how much the Glazers are going to commit to the club. We don't know. We don't know. We don't even know how much. So it's really dicey, to be frank. But definitely, who goes in, who comes in, who can make suggestions? Yes. In the midfield, I don't know. Who was this guy that I can't remember? This guy, please, Margaret, if you can remind me. There's a guy. There's one midfielder that I don't know. I'm trying to remember.
Which club does he play for?
That's what I'm trying
What
to
club?
remember. That's what I'm trying to. Isn't there a midfielder we have been linked with? I'm just trying to remember.
Okay, I think that should be for now at least there is an interest from Mason Mount. For
Yes,
Mason
thank you.
Mount.
Thank you very much. It's Mason Mount I wanted to. Exactly. Yeah, they are saying that a Mason Mount is possible and all. But if a Mason Mount is coming, like I've said, somebody like Scott McTominay or a Fred or someone needs to leave. For who are you going? Are you going to sell them? So that for me is then in the striker role. Me, I don't know. That one is a very, very big question because people will say Harry Kane. Me, I don't want Osimhen to come. Let Osimhen continue to remain in Napoli and be the star boy, please. I don't want him to. No. He's a star. He's a star boy there. Please let him continue, please. I don't want. He will now come to the Premier League. They will now come and spoil. They will not come and spoil it. Well, if he should go on a goal drought of 8 games, all those sadist pundits. I don't want to mention names. All those sadist pundits and the sadist media. They will now come and start. Please, he's enjoying himself in Italy. Even Italy that has its own issues. You know what I mean? The kind of issues Italy has with players of color. But. Yeah. But you see how they've been able to love Osimhen. But England is not a forgiving place. Osimhen is thriving there because Napoli is not that much of a big club like that, Yeah. But you come to a Manchester United where they are going to be on your head from morning till night. I beg no one. Let him stay there, please.
All right, let me ask before we wrap up from Manchester United being our focus for today. I'm going to start off with. I'm going to ask this Margaret to summarize what is actually happening in Manchester United. For example, we don't know who is going to be the owner of the club. So sometimes if you talk about one player is linked to Manchester United, I just keep wondering who is buying. Where is the money coming from? Who is saying we are going to buy? There's no because I feel we should know by now. We should know the owner. Who is saying they want to buy this? Who is giving this information? How is transfer is going to come up with Manchester United? But regardless that, I know they must be looking for players. But let me ask you one important question, Margaret, before, in that match, if you watch that FA Cup very well, there are some players that they didn't put in any shift. Sancho in particular. Sancho was playing like, okay, don't let me even say it. We all saw it. There are some particular players they don't put in a shift. So you tell me, look at the questions. Is who comes in, who goes out? In Manchester United right now. Now, our club captain is not even doing anything. What's he doing? These are things. So, which players do you think should go out? And what players should we be bringing on? So, over to you, Margaret.
Wow. Okay, I think when it comes to player who comes in, number one player that actually comes to my mind, because without goals, you won't get results. So it's not just about choking up your midfield, having good defenders, but
Maggie, I can hear you very well. I think I lost him. Okay, can you hear me? I think I lost him.
Loud and clear.
Yeah. Okay, she's trying to hook up back. Yeah, Mag, can you hear me? And I wanted her to say.
Okay. Well, before she comes back, let me just quickly make this contribution on who goes and who leaves or who comes in.
All right.
Okay. I think the current problem of United right now is United cannot decide who comes in. Yes, but they can decide who goes out. And a quick one on the performance of the final of the FA Cup. Unfortunately, Bruno is not the kind of shape or mood or charisma that United needs in a captain. Look at Gerrard, look at Terry, look at Lampard, let us begin to bring out names. Look at Gary Neville during the time he played for United. Look at Evra. These are men, these are players who not just, yes, they might lack one or two things as footballers, but their spirit and dedication to the game is something that are never in question. Evra will not give you 95% in a match, he will give you 100%. Neville will give you 100%. Steven Gerrard will play his heart out. Terry will put his head where people will not dare put it. Are we talking about Vidic and so on and so forth? Bruno is not that kind of player. He is not. You only see the best of Bruno if you're playing against a team that lacks initiative or a team that more or less are having an off day. That is when you see a Bruno. But when it comes to the toughest of matches, the toughest of battles, people like Bruno, they chicken out and will not give you their best. And what do they do to hide their inability? They will begin to complain and throw their hands in the air and tell you everything is wrong. And unfortunately, I think the coach has another job of looking for a better captain, or more or less telling this man to sit up to be able to lead these players out. It is not a fashion thing for a captain to come out and the armband is resting on your left arm or your right arm and you just feel, oh, I'm the captain. There is more to what you do on the field than just wearing that armband for the sake of wearing it. For United, like I said, they have a lot of clearing out to do. Kule has said it, if they don't clear out players, they will not be able to buy players. Sancho, left to me is somebody that, if it's possible, sell him or loan him or whatever it is you want to do. Because that man, he does not fit the philosophy of United at this point in time. For Anthony as well, I think that man too has to go. And of course, just McTominay, Fred, let them go. Like Kole said, I will agree with him on that. That goalkeeper I think he should be dashed out for free. Because that is not the kind of goalkeeper you want for a title-winning side. I tell you the truth. So since Margaret is back, Margaret is back. Let us take her.
Yeah, I think you want to disagree with selling
yes, yes. I think what De Gea needs right now is competition. It's not selling him outrightly. If you sell him by now, see, at least you can't just bring in a keeper like that and expect the keeper to just start immediately. What De Gea needs, at least for him to stay for one more season, but they have to be another goalkeeper, maybe like this. Is it Porto Diego Costa? There is rumor that United are in for him. So if he comes in, he will provide a very good competition for David De Gea. And he can understudy him for like a season. Then thereafter he can go. You can't just sell him like that. Leave it or take it. I am telling you, De Gea has actually helped United. So many times United were on the verge of losing games, but because of De Gea heroics, because of his saves, United has actually won more games from losing or sometimes draw. So let's think about it like that. He has been a loyal servant. You can't just push him away like that. It needs competition.
All right. And now let's talk about the striking position. I mean, the striker, we don't have. Look, we're no. The guy, they cannot even score. He can't even do nothing. I mean, it's crazy. What striker do you think Manchester United should go for? Margaret, quick one.
For now, I think the hottest property when it comes to the striking position is Harry Kane. Yeah. But although there is rumor that United are going for this Atalanta's striker, I think his name has actually skipped from my mind. Yes, rumor like that. But for me, Harry Kane, because his experience, he can create, he can score. So I would actually want United to go all out, spend that money, and bring him to Old Trafford.
All right. Kule, is there anything you want to talk about before we go to the topic for today, which is going to be the best 11? Kule, quick one. Is there anything you want to add to this? Manchester United next season.
Well, I think Margaret and Robbie have all said what was kind of in line with what I had said earlier. it's just going to be difficult for Manchester United, because the ownership, this thing is really where the problem starts. Because if we're having the Glazers at the start of next season, wahala. Now, let me end it there.
All right. Okay, I know we'll talk about Arsenal, I think, hopefully on Friday, about the club focus for the day, which is going to be Arsenal. Actually, I took. Let me share the screen. I'm trying to let you guys know it's gonna be different from, but okay, I'll bring it up back later. We want to do the best 11 for the season, Istv EPL best 11, starting from the goalkeeper. Okay, your goalkeeper, that's Ramsdale, is one of the top shot. And also, don't forget the gear as well. We can put the gear as well into the equation.
You must be joking.
We can.
You must be joking.
We can put Pope. No, I mean Robbie. I think the gear has the highest clean sheets. So can we still put him there as the gear? Robbie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Just put him there for the sake of putting him there, because he won the Golden Glove this season. So just put him there for the sake of putting him there.
Oh boy. All right. We are going to look at the best 11. We are going to name them. I'm trying to share my screen. Hold on a little bit.
But do we also know that, having the highest clean sheets is a good thing, and I think that's the major reason why he won the Golden Glove. Yes. But then again, in terms of match-winning performances, I don't think De Gea dropped a lot of match-winning performances for United this season. So it's a worthy. I think it's worth the argument. But definitely, when you take a look at the clean sheets, he's quite ahead. He had 17 clean sheets, followed by Alisson, Nick Pope, and Aaron Ramsdale, all tied together. So, yes, just like Robbie said, because he did win it officially, it makes sense to give it to David De Gea.
All right, Kule, do you agree? De Gea to be the number one for the goalkeeper for EPL this season?
Well, in as much as I say his time is up and all, I think I would say yes, because I think he ended up with most clean sheets. Yeah. And I think that that alone kind of signifies the kind of stability or improvement that has been, that has come under Manchester United since Ten Hag arrived. But because of that, should we now say that because of that, De Gea should stay? I would say no, because like I've said, there is nothing good that can come out of De Gea again. There is no improvement. You understand? So that's why I want to make this
fair play.
Yeah. There is nothing good. He's 32 years old. If he were to be younger, that's when we can say, okay, but what does he want to learn? What does he want to learn at 32? This is a guy who hasn't been able to make it into the Spanish squad for how many years now, simply because he is not fit. I mean, and Unai Simon that plays for, is it not Athletic Bilbao, bounced him. Even Kepa Arrizabalaga at one time like that. So, I mean, it goes to tell you that, for me, his time is up, but he's the goalkeeper of the season, no doubt.
All right, the goalkeeper of the season, no doubt. Then let's move on to the left back. I'm going to go for Luke Shaw this season. I don't know who wants to contest this.
Alexander Zinchenko wants to contest that. It's really? A worthy contest. To be fair, Alexander Zinchenko had a very.
Well, I always hear some Arsenal fans, they don't like him. He's too much.
So obviously
he doesn't know how to defend.
He has defensive frailties, but I believe Zinchenko had a much better season than Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw was hot and cold. I believe Luke Shaw was good.
We are going to debate this.
No, Luke Shaw was good in the first half of the season, but post World Cup, Luke Shaw was terrible, if you ask me, and he missed a good number of games due to injury. I think Zinchenko had a better impact as a left back throughout the season. Another person who would contest it has to be Nathan Ake. Since Nathan Ake started playing left back, You
Left
know,
back. Okay.
he made a huge difference for Manchester City, and Pep Guardiola confirmed this as well.
But let me tell you something, Okwe,
How about Estupinan of Brighton? A
Yes,
very good left back also.
That's another one.
Estupinan too. Yes, what the
Yeah.
what the consideration? But then, you know, I think fine, we can start with the basics as a defender. You know, you being able to defend, that good balance between defense and attack. I think Estupinan is high up there. But then when we're talking about, if you want to add stats to it, I think Zinchenko will most likely edge those competitors out in terms of goal contributions, key passes, assists. You know, that's just my opinion. But definitely, Estupinan is right up there in that conversation. But most likely, I would go for Alexander Zinchenko. I think he had an outstanding season for us.
Robbie and Kunle, do you have any? And Maggie, the left back. That's what we are looking at.
Okay. Well, I think. Okay. Well, now go, please.
Oh, okay. Well, I think for me, I'd have to put this guy over. What's his name? I would have to put what's his name? Luke Shaw. I think Luke Shaw for me is the left back of the season.
Because he even played the. I mean,
exactly. He played as a left-sided centre back, and you know it has actually shown. You know, there are some times where it will be like, oh, maybe Luke Shaw seems to be losing it. He does maybe his time is up at the club and all, and you know there was this period of time where Malacia was even the one playing ahead of him and all of that. But you know when Luke Shaw decides to be on his game, the level of consistency he shows. I always say it that I don't think there's any left back that will come into that club that can show the kind of consistency he shows. Yes, they would say that maybe the likes of Telles will be brought in to bring competition, or even Malacia. But if you put those two side by side, they cannot match Luke Shaw over a long stretch of games. And I think that goes to tell you who the better left back is at the club. So for me, and you know, he has largely stayed fit this season, which is a plus considering, you know, the years he has had previously with injuries. But he has stayed fit, very few injuries. He didn't spend much time out with injuries. So he's the left back of the season for me.
All right. Maggie, do you agree with that? And Robbie?
I think Robbie should go first.
Well, in fact, don't worry, I won't waste time on this. What I'm going to do is, whatever it is that Kunle has said, I am with Kunle 100%.
All right. Luke Shaw locks in. Maggie?
Yeah. I think for me, it's actually caught between Luke Shaw and Estupinan, and I'm actually caught between these two. But looking at what Luke Shaw have done right from before and after World Cup, in playing in different positions, being able to hold that center defense, and also a very good left back crosses. He has assists. I think I will actually go with Luke Shaw.
All right, Luke Shaw. But okay, we are going to have a discussion on this left back. I am serious about this. You comparing Luke Shaw with Zinchenko? Well, is it debatable, or how do I put it? We can debate on that.
Definitely, it is highly debatable.
Right.
And then, you know, Kule mentioned something which, in a way, he said it as a positive for Luke Shaw. But then again, in this conversation, it further buttresses the point why I wouldn't even put Luke Shaw there. Luke Shaw played a good number of games for United as a centre back this season as well when he was fit. You know, so if we're talking about that same left back,
no, I don't think it's just few games,
but maybe not up to 10 games, but let's say 5 to 6 games, he did play in that centre back position. So if we're still talking about the best left back this season, we're saying a left back who is a left back by trade, who played in the left back position, you know. And the truth is that Zinchenko played as an inverted fullback, more or less, almost like he wanted to.
I think that was against Man United. He played as an inverter fullback. Against United, that was where you actually see him.
No,
but you can. I am just speaking
for the whole season. It's as simple as that. That's always his position for us.
I want to fight you. You know
Why
me, I've
did
never
Christian
fought you.
let him
You know I've
go?
never fought you. Wait, Tope, you know I've never fought you before.
Yay.
You are one of the people that see if there's anybody that won't take up a fight with on this channel, it is you. I can take up a fight with even the Don. I've taken up fights with the Don before, but I've never taken a
Absolutely.
fight with you.
Let's go.
But today I want to fight you. Why will you wait? So because are you not trying to say that? So because Luke Shaw played a few games at centre
A
back,
few games is
that
are you
does not
lying?
negate that does not negate the fact that he is still a left back and he has played the bulk of this. I mean, let's not even forget. Hope you know that even Zinchenko that I was talking about, Zinchenko is naturally a midfielder, you know, and Zinchenko is also someone who can actually play anywhere on the left as well. I think it was even Pep Guardiola who converted him to left back, right? So, Zinchenko is a versatile player. You know, he doesn't play left back for Ukraine, for instance. So, you know, and I'm sure, I think even you on the show said it a couple of times where you were like, maybe in Partey's absence or something, maybe they could have played Zinchenko. Like Arteta should have used Zinchenko in the middle or something like that. So, what I'm just trying to say is that just because Luke Shaw played as a left-sided centre back or he played as a centre back for a few games, please does not negate and does not take anything away from him, because he spent the bulk, like you said. Okay, he played maybe less than 10 games. He played as a centre back, and that was largely because Varane and Martinez were out injured. But once I think Varane missed only 7 games in all competitions.
Yes.
No, I think that was when Varane didn't play.
Yes, that was when, you know, him and Martinez got injured in that game against Sevilla. So Varane missed like about 7 games in all competitions, because I know he missed the second leg as well. So, and that was where Luke Shaw deputized. But once Varane was back, he was back to his left back position also.
All right, let's talk about the right back.
Yeah, but I'm currently looking at the player comparison for this season between Zinchenko and Luke Shaw. The only edge Shaw has over Zinchenko is clean sheets. So maybe that is the only reason why I can accept and say Luke Shaw should be there. Aside that, really, I still stand my ground, but it's where we move.
All right, we move. Let's move. Right back, Aaron Wan-Bissaka for me.
Oh my, Didon, please. Didon, you are fantastic. You are fantastic.
Okay, I just now play. Okay.
For me is Kieran Trippier. Right back. Trippier. Newcastle.
Kule, you have any other? You want to put someone else?
Who do I want to put?
Trippier. There's nobody. There's no way you are putting
Kevin Trippier. He does that one. No rival.
Trippier, thank you.
No rival.
Let's move
player
on.
Of the season himself. He's the player of the season himself.
What about this 5 and 6? The fullback.
Ruben Diaz, Bedell.
No, I know.
Saliba should be there. William Saliba.
Botman of Newcastle. Botman.
Saliba for me.
Yeah.
Botman.
Yeah, that is true. I think I agree with Margaret. We can't leave out the Newcastle centre back.
I'm telling you.
Yes.
Because let's not forget, Newcastle actually kept the least goals in the Premier League.
Yes, they consider the least amount of goals in the Premier League. So a Newcastle player has to be there.
So for me, I think a Newcastle centre back needs to be there. Newcastle is really underappreciated, and it's so sad that nobody focuses. Wants to focus on them because of City.
All right, let's move on to the defensive midfielders. We're going to look at that defensive and also 8. That's these two. So what do you go for? Rodri for me? I mean, there's nothing for what's the name of this?
Kevin De Bruyne has to be there. The highest assist in the league.
It's not defensive. It's not defensive now.
Oh, sorry.
DMF. Casemiro for me.
Casemiro and Rodri should be fine. Yes, Casemiro and Rodri should be fine.
Okay, what do you think? You don't bring that guy from Ghana.
What do you mean? But it has to be between Rodri and Casemiro. It has to be between Rodri and Casemiro. I think if Casemiro played less games and had a huge impact on United, I would go for Casemiro.
Only do you agree?
Yes, I will agree. I think Casemiro has to be there because he was clearly instrumental to bringing having a bit of that stability that was there between
Yes, in the
the
midfield.
defense and attack. That was why when he was absent, I think his absence was very clear. So
Exactly.
um,
And
de-
honestly, sorry, Colin, sorry
yeah.
to cut you short, but Casemiro's major absences were due to those 2 red cards. If not for those 2 red cards,
Yeah,
Casemiro
that's
would
what I'm
have played more
saying.
games.
Yeah, they were just
Yeah,
red
Also
cards.
part
United
of
would
it
have
as
Exactly.
well.
It's
used
not like he
less
was
games.
injured. You get that's the point. He was not injured, just suspension, and just suspension. And imagine, so just for one game that he was out, the team could not even adjust to themselves. So I think that goes to tell you how very important he is. So yeah.
All right, who are you going to put there? Gundogan or KDB or something?
100%. Gundogan has to be there. Gundogan has to be the person beside Casemiro. No questions about that.
Gundogan. Olagbara.
But
Oh,
are we going to
Lagba.
now? Are we going to remove Kevin De Bruyne now? I mean,
I think KDB should be here. I mean, who's going to play 10?
Who else should be in that 10 position?
I want to suggest this Arsenal.
Odegaard.
I'll take
Odegaard.
Yeah.
Odegaard.
that's
Odegaard had
true.
Odegaard.
That's even true.
Yeah.
Martin Odegaard.
Yeah.
Had an
We
astounding
can't leave out Odegaard because Odegaard has been. I mean, if I'm correct, he had double goals and assists. If I'm right,
You're right.
Yes.
You know?
Odegaard for me. Odegaard.
I feel Martin Odegaard needs to be
I'm just
there.
looking at this.
But-
Odegaard. It should be KDB. I don't know.
No, for me, Odegaard over
Wait,
because who had more assists? Sorry,
I
who had
think
more assists between
Odegaard-
KDB?
Okay, Kevin De Bruyne had more assists, 16 assists, but Odegaard had more goals.
How many assists
to
did?
me.
How many assists did Odegaard have?
Registered 16 assists, while Odegaard registered 7.
Okay.
Oh, 7 assists.
Yeah,
Oh,
I feel, to me, if we're to choose between KDB and Odegaard, I would go for Odegaard. Now look at this. KDB plays in a more formidable team like Man City, which without him, the team will score. Without him, they will win. And then you look at that Arsenal side. If you look at the number of times that Odegaard have not played, Arsenal actually find it difficult winning. But with Odegaard, he can scoring goals, giving assists, and then you saw in his absence, you will feel. In fact, if he's not playing, you will feel his absence. So I think I will actually go with Odegaard more than KDB.
All right, on the left back. I mean, on the left. I have Martinelli. I have Rashford. I have what's the guy in Newcastle? Can we put him there?
Guamer, not. Is it
Isak.
not?
No.
Martinelli, Rashford, Grealish.
Yeah, Grealish is a worthy contender, but obviously, when we now bring in the stats, Martinelli and Rashford are clear ahead.
Clear ahead. Yeah, I think it should be Rashford.
Rashford going.
yeah, Rashford has to.
Martinelli. Oh my! Now small boy be Martinelli now.
Exactly. Now we're further buttressing my points. Martinelli is a small boy, one of the youngest players in Europe at the age of 21, and look at the season he was able to deliver compared to a Marcus Rashford who's already established.
But no doubt about this one. Saka for me on the right back.
Of course,
on the right. Saka for me. I think Saka was in Nigeria.
Yes, he's still in Nigeria.
He's still in Nigeria.
I better give you his number.
We are still trying to contact him. He no great big.
Make you come to our show now. Wait till they happen. Where is there for Lagos?
In the lodge for governor's house. So he's chilling with the governor.
I think he met with the governor recently. Was it yesterday or when he met with the governor?
I better find the number for me. No question about this one. I know the answer. Let me tell you. This is the answer. No waste time. This guy.
Which one?
This one. Don't ask me.
I thought you said
you want to put Vegas.
Vegas there.
Please don't try that. If you're talking about Vegas, don't try that. Don't even mention it, please.
Wow, Vegas, the best striker in the world. No, Vegas should be there.
I have a different opinion. No.
Oh yeah.
You know what? You any opinion about Vegas? I beg.
On this one.
Yes. Now.
Which one?
Hurricane now.
That's true.
Of course, it's Hurricane. Anytime, any day over Haaland.
You know, no, I'm not going to take anything away from Haaland here.
You talk.
But
makes sense, though.
But despite how Tottenham have been crap this season, I still don't understand how Harry Kane was able to score 30 goals. That means if the season continued,
okay, what do you feel?
It is possible Harry Kane might have even caught Haaland.
Yes, possible.
Honestly, because there was a time where the gap was wide, where Haaland was. You understand where Haaland was leading, where the gap between first and second was almost like 11 or 12 goals. Even Kane didn't seem to have a very good start, but we just saw that there was this period where he was just scoring goals. And I think these 30 goals he has scored is actually his best. I might be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is his best goals return. I don't think if he has ever scored up to 30 goals. But for him to have scored 30 goals with a struggling team, with a team that was struggling, and not just small struggle, serious struggle, because Tottenham are not even qualifying for Europe, Aston Villa finished ahead of them. For him to still score 30 goals, and then some people will now say that they want to cement over him. Continue, they play.
Do you have anything to say about this?
It's a worthy argument, and Kunle has said it all concerning Harry Kane. But I will just say this and leave it at that we cannot deny the goal scoring record that Erling Haaland has set. A record which has been in existence for 26 years, if I'm not mistaken. Previously set by Andy Cole of Man United. So I would need to give Haaland the props, because Erling Haaland is just 23 years old. His first season in the English Premier League, let's not forget that he struggled at the start because he found it difficult to be impactful despite the goals he was scoring. But thankfully for Pep Guardiola and the coaching staff, they were able to set up a system which would help him score more goals and have more of an impact in the team. I mean, in the middle of the season, Haaland drew criticism from Thierry Henry, and Henry did say that aside the goals, what else can a striker add to the team? That's one thing that made him better. That's one thing that Wenger put to him, in his early days. And I believe Erling Haaland rose to the occasion by setting that standard. And it is so ridiculous and crazy because I do not think that Haaland is in his prime yet.
Yeah.
And when he does get into his prime, my oh my, we will be in for a spectacle. So I will still give it to Erling Haaland.
Well, we are going to.
I actually disagree. For me, I'll go for Kane. I'm giving you, for instance, I'm fine. Erling Haaland is a very good goal scorer. He came in from Dortmund. He continued from where he stopped at Dortmund. But I believe that a complete striker isn't just about waiting for your team to give you the goal and score only. Isn't about that alone. But we have an Harry Kane who he is a complete striker. When it's a leader, he is experienced, he is intelligent. He knows where the ball goes. He knows how to create chances for his team and also even for his own self to score. Yeah. So he has that, a lot of things. There is not much gap between the goals between Erling Haaland and Harry Kane, like Kule said. So I don't think I would want to choose Erling Haaland over an Harry Kane. Take away Haaland from City. City will still win the Premier League. They will still win the FA Cup. But take away Harry Kane from Tottenham, I'm sure that Tottenham will be battling for relegation.
I tell you.
Just to also point out that, let's not forget that Guardiola was interested in signing Harry Kane. But Tottenham did not want to sell. So if Guardiola was going to have a choice between having Harry Kane and Erling Haaland, he would have gone for Harry Kane and not Haaland. So just to stress on that point.
All right, that's how it is. This is how far we can go on that, the best 11. Please, if you're watching anywhere you're watching from, if you disagree with this crew about this, our best 11, please drop your comments. Say what you have to say. We are moving on to the next one. Summer transfer is around the corner. I swear down, Arsenal is going to sign. Okay, which player are you guys linked up to? With?
This is one part of the summer transfer window that I don't like. The early parts, there are so many rumors going on, but there are some concrete, links. First of all, is Declan Rice. Arsenal's first bid will be submitted after the Europa Conference League final. There's already an agreement between Arsenal and the player, so it's left to Arsenal and West Ham. They will submit an offer after the Europa Conference League final. There are other players that Arsenal has been keeping tabs on throughout the season. First person is Edmondson Tapsoba, who plays for Bayer Leverkusen. He's a centre back who can play on either side, even though he's right-footed. So he's someone that Arsenal is looking at. And then there's a young lad, Sacha Bowie, who plays for Galatasaray. He's another exciting right back that Arsenal are looking at. Same with Ivan Fresneda, because in January, a lot of reports said Arsenal were going to sign Fresneda from Real Sociedad, but the player decided to stay till the end of the season, hoping that Arsenal will come back in the summer. So time will tell. Caicedo has also been a player that's been linked with Arsenal consistently. But it might be that he would go to Chelsea because Chelsea would offer more in terms of the transfer fee and wages. But it's quite clear that he has been twerking for Arsenal on social media. So I think Caicedo really wants to come to Arsenal. So it's up to Arsenal, and let's see how much money the club is able to dole out. I expect them to spend money. Why? Last week, owner of Arsenal, his market value has increased by £2 billion. So he's enjoying business, being the owner of Arsenal. I expect him to inject money into the club. So time will tell.
All right, this is how far we can go, guys. Margaret, thanks for showing up on this one. Fantastic moment with you. All right, I know Manchester United. We just have to get this owner. What are they doing? What are they doing?
They will calm down. They will. Yes, of course, they will come through. For I think let's just have more patience with them and see what the Glazers have in store. I don't know what.
Next 6 weeks.
I know.
They will open again.
You should remember that even Chelsea transfer dealings also took this long. This is they're buying a club. It's not like they want some shares. We're talking about total takeover. Yeah. So everything has to be done in a good way, because we don't want trouble. We don't want talk. We don't want side talk tomorrow. We want to make sure everything are okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Margaret, for this one. Have a nice week ahead of you.
All right. Bye.
All right. Ule, thank you so much for joining us on this one. Massive day, massive. Thank you so much.
Thanks, boss. I appreciate it.
All right, Robbie. Fantastic.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for today.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Don't go near Manchester anymore, please. Don't go there.
Maybe I was the bad luck for United. So in that case, I might just be going to Manchester every time United want to play a game, so they lose. Always a pleasure to be on Istv The Don. Thank you so much.
All right, one love, bro. Bye for now. All right, guys, this is how far we can go. Please smash the like on the video, subscribe to the channel. This is how far we can go. They call me the Don of Sport Entertainment. This is Istv. Let's go there. Massive. Thank you so much. Bye for now.